Let's get straight to it, because we really need to talk about what Martell Holt is doing again. Once more, it seems like he's using his kids as emotional leverage and trying to blame Melody Shari for things that he, quite honestly, caused himself. The divorce storyline has been dragged out for years now, and at this point, it just doesn't make sense anymore. Fans of Love and Marriage, Huntsville have been watching closely, and a lot of us are asking the same thing: why is Martell still stuck on a divorce that was finalized years ago? Why is he trying to flip the script now and act like he's the one who was left heartbroken and lost? In this new clip from season 10, we see Martell sitting down and having a conversation with Destiny Payton. Now, Destiny has been known to keep it real sometimes, and in this scene, she really did try to get Martell to be honest with himself. But what we saw was Martell dancing around the truth, pretending he's moved on, while at the same time admitting that he thinks about the divorce every single day. That doesn't sound like someone who's healed or moved on. That sounds like someone who is stuck, no matter how much he tries to deny it. And here's the thing: if Martell really was still processing the emotions from his divorce, that would be understandable. Divorce is hard, especially when there are 4 children involved. But let's not act like this man has been sitting at home sad and reflective all these years. We saw the way he behaved during and after the breakup. We saw the public arguments, the disrespect, the cheating, and the way he dragged Melody's name through the mud over and over again. So now, when he sits in front of a camera trying to look emotional and thoughtful about losing his marriage, it doesn't feel real. It feels like a setup. It feels like he's playing a role to get sympathy from the viewers. Martell's pattern has always been about control. From the beginning, he wanted to control the narrative, control Melody, and control how people saw him. But it didn't work out the way he planned. Melody broke free from the toxic cycle and focused on healing, growing, and becoming a better version of herself. She focused on her children, her brand, and her peace. Martell, on the other hand, kept bouncing from drama to drama, getting involved with Shari Whitfield, dealing with Arian Curry, and continuing to blame everyone but himself for the fallout of his actions. Now let's talk about that past moment Martell had on Instagram, when he was upset about having to film scenes with Melody. He claimed production forced him to act like he was still in love with her. He said Carlos King begged him to bring flowers and do that coffee shop scene. And he was so angry about it that he told producers, "Film my real life or don't film me at all." He swore up and down that he didn't want Melody back. He said it wasn't real. He told us he was playing a role for the show. So what's changed now? Why is he suddenly back to talking about how hard the divorce has been? It doesn't make sense unless you consider one thing: Martell might be trying to clean up his image. Maybe he sees that the fans are tired of the same drama. Maybe he realized that his bad behavior was catching up to him, and now he wants people to see him in a softer light. But the problem is, you can't change the story now and expect people to forget what really happened. We watched it all. We saw the pain in Melody's eyes. We saw how Martell treated her on national television. We saw how he gaslighted her, cheated on her, and then turned around and blamed her for walking away. So this new emotional version of Martell just isn't believable. It's giving actor energy, and not the kind that wins awards. It's giving "I'm trying to fix my public image" energy. And Destiny saw it too. That's why in the scene, she calls him out. She tells him that he's still stuck, and instead of owning it, he tries to talk around it. He brings up his age, the fact that he has kids, and how he's just being cautious. But if you're thinking about your divorce every single day, you are not healed. That's not being cautious. That's being stuck in the past, especially when you were the one who caused most of the damage. Let's not forget how he treated Arian Curry too. The woman he cheated with, who had a baby by him, he called her a peasant. He embarrassed her just like he embarrassed Melody. And then he tried to play the victim when Melody walked away. That's not the behavior of someone who was heartbroken. That's the behavior of someone who didn't want to face the consequences of their own actions. This is why a lot of fans are calling this new Martell storyline fake. It feels scripted. It feels like production is trying to rebrand Martell as this sensitive, misunderstood man who just wants his family back. But that version of him never existed. Not on the show, and not in real life. Martell spent years tearing down his family. And now, because the women in his life have moved on and grown without him, He wants to act like he's finally realizing what he lost. That's not healing. That's regret. And it's not even the kind of regret that comes from genuine reflection. It's the kind that comes when you see that your life didn't turn out the way you thought it would. Think about it. Melody has moved on and created a successful brand. She's glowing, thriving, and raising her kids in peace. Meanwhile, Martell has been struggling to stay relevant. The relationship with Shari Whitfield didn't turn into anything solid. The situation with Arian Curry is full of chaos. And now he's trying to go back to the one storyline that used to get him attention, his divorce, but here's the problem. That storyline is old. It's tired. The viewers are smarter now. We remember the past. We remember the emotional abuse. We remember the lies. So watching Martell try to pretend like he's just now realizing the weight of the divorce is frustrating. He's not just hurting himself with this fake narrative, he's insulting the intelligence of the audience. And let's talk about production for a second. It really feels like they're trying to protect Martell's image. Maybe they think showing him in a more vulnerable light will help him gain sympathy and keep fans interested. But it's backfiring. Because longtime viewers aren't falling for it. We want to see real growth, not manufactured storylines. If Martell really wanted to show us his healing journey, he could have done that years ago. But instead, he chose drama. He chose blame. He chose chaos. And now that he's out of options, he wants to act like he's the victim. This is what makes reality TV so hard to watch sometimes. Because when the show starts rewriting history to protect certain cast members, it loses its authenticity. And that's what's happening right now. Martell's sudden emotional storyline feels like damage control. It doesn't feel like truth. So the big question is, do we believe him? Do we think Martell is really still broken up over the divorce? Or is this just another chapter in the same old book of excuses and blame? Personally, I think it's a performance. I think he's trying to find a new way to stay on the show. He might be losing allies. He might be losing support. So now he's trying to win the viewers back with a new version of himself, but here's the thing, we don't need a new version of Martell. We need the truth. We need accountability. We need someone who admits what they've done wrong and works to become better, not someone who hides behind emotional scenes and carefully crafted storylines. At the end of the day, this show is supposed to reflect real life. And real life isn't always pretty. But it is honest. And until Martell starts being honest with himself and with us, no amount of emotional scenes will change the way we see him. So that's where we're at right now. A man who once told us he didn't want Melody back is now acting like he never got over her. A man who mocked the pain of his ex-wife is now asking us to feel sorry for him. And honestly, it's not working. Let me know what you all think in the comments. Are you buying this new emotional version of Martell? Do you think he's genuinely still struggling, or is this just another attempt to stay in the spotlight? Whatever the truth is, one thing is clear, the drama is far from over. Season 10 is just getting started, and it's already shaping up to be a wild ride. Stay tuned, because we're going to break it all down together every step of the way.